So the face-off at center ice. The Soviet Union against Sweden, and from the face-off, Juha Viding pokes it into the Soviet zone. Back to get it is Sergei Bабинов behind his own net, shooting it around to Salming at the point. Salming moving in. Salming flipping it in front of the net, but in too deep was Viding. Viding moving in after that puck again. Viding beating it out in front. Nearly went off a leg there. Viding goes after it against the boards, but he can't reach it as Belosov brings it to center ice only to be checked. And it's sent back into the Soviet end. Bабинov clearing it out to center ice and covering up as Salming back into his own end. Clears to center ice. Bäckström can't get loose. Puck is cleared to the line. Lindstrom, he has it to Salming. Salming is over the line. Salming is checked as he went in by Krikунов. The puck ends up against the boards and will be held there for a face-off.
Typically, the Soviet team, when they get possession of the puck in their own zone, sometimes they don't look too much and they just take the puck and throw it. And Salming was able to keep the puck in when the Soviet defenseman threw it just blindly around the boards, kept the puck in and got a good opportunity early in the contest.
There's Börje Salming heading for the bench. Salming called now the greatest hockey player in Swedish history, and I suppose they're right. He's one of the finest in the NHL. From the face-off now, the puck goes into the corner. After it there is Hedberg. He tries to get a shot away. The puck goes wide of the net. Ulf Nilsson losing it to Vasiliev in the corner. Vasiliev around the net. Stopped as he's forechecked, and moving in there is Nilsson. Puck comes to this side. Bilялетдинов out to center ice. Walton clears it over the line now. It's Nilsson trying to get it out in front. Eriksson took a shot that was wide, and he goes in deep after it. Behind the net, Nilsson couldn't reach it. Number 17, Ulf Nilsson. Had a great year with the Winnipeg Jets this past season. Out to the center ice area. Walton can't control it. Ulf Nilsson back for it. Nilsson circling back into his own end. Drops it back, and Tommy Bergman. Bergman, also from the Winnipeg Jets. Dropping it back. Walton out over his blue line to center ice. Walton clearing it in as he crossed the center line. Digging in after it for the Soviets. It is Vasiliev to center ice. That pass went astray. Hedberg goes down, and it'll be called for another face-off. There's Hedberg, and he was part of that great line with Nilsson and Bobby Hull in Winnipeg. Bobby, of course, with good wishes to the group, with a lot of teammates from Sweden. Playing with Winnipeg, one of the reasons why they had such a great year last year, winning the World Hockey Association Championship. Kulиков back behind his net, clearing it out to center ice. Sjöberg shooting it back into the Soviet end. Kulиков back with it behind his own net. In forechecking there is Brassard. Now Schluchtov. Out over his line, Schluchtov beating it ahead. In over the line now comes Balderas, and he just couldn't get free, and it's cleared back out to center ice past LeBronton. Kulикov knocks it down. Balderas to Schluchtov. Schluchtov couldn't get free, and Schluchtov now back into his own end. Lutchenko over to the far side. Cutting in front of his net and starting out is Kulиков. Kulикov to center ice. Alexandrov. Little Alexandrov over the line, dropping it off to Schluchtov. Schluchtov trying to get set, but he chased into the corner. Schluchtov gets it again out in front. There's the shot by Alexandrov. Another shot, this one taken by Schluchtov and wide of the net. Sjöberg gets it. We've got a delayed penalty here as LeBronton gets the pass out over the line. LeBronton shooting it in, and as it's steered into the corner by Tretьяк, the penalty is called. This is Canada Cup 76 on CCCP. Balderas gets the penalty for high sticking at 2:57. And we'll get a chance to see this one, Tom.
Well, he just swung around and hit the Swedish defenseman in front of the net with a stick, and he can be nasty, Balderas. He picked up quite a few penalties in the games in Sweden, and he doesn't turn the other cheek, I can tell you that.
Not too many of them to do now on this Soviet team. It's from the face-off. Börje Salming moves in, kicks it along the boards, but then it's cleared out through center ice by Krikунov, and back to get it now for Sweden. It is Johansson. Björn Johansson cutting in front of his own net to Börje Salming. Salming at center ice makes the good move on Kovin, goes over the line offside. As in too quickly was Tord Lundström.
Vikström here has been, there's one change in the Swedish lineup. Vikström, the right winger, has taken Inge Hammarström's spot, and Inge reported to be a little hurt, having a knee which isn't quite 100%, so there's been a change here.
Johansson from the face-off gives it back to Salming. Salming to Lundström. Lundström at center ice, clearing it over the line, intended for beating, and he was upended. The crowd is calling for the penalty, and so is the referee. Andre Лагассе spotting that one as Beating went over the line. He was just pulled down from behind. We'll get a replay on this one.
Well, Bellousov is simply a question of tripping. The pass went across to Weeding. He was moving in, and Bellousov just took the skates out from underneath him. And the Soviets have been picking up a great many minor penalties in this series, more than we're used to seeing.
Well, now the Swedes have a two-man advantage, and they will have that two-man advantage barring any further penalties for 1 minute and 21 seconds. That's the time remaining in the penalty to Balderas.
2 minutes for interference at 3 minutes 36 seconds.
You heard it, 3:36, the time of the penalty, interference on Bellousov. Let's see how they line up now. Börje Salming will stay out there. Tommy Bergman is moving to the other point position. Ulf Nilsson, Hedberg will be out there. Hedberg, number 20. And Roland Eriksson will center the line. Well, they've got some scoring power out there. It's from the face-off. It goes back to the Soviet defense. Vasilev clearing it down the ice. And Ostrom out of his net. He'll leave it for Tommy Bergman. Bergman, number 3. To Roland Eriksson. Over to the far side comes Hedberg. Out over the line and into Soviet territory. Chased out of the play. It comes back past Salming. And all the way down the ice. Ostrom moves out of his net, and he'll leave it there for Salming. Salming over to the far side for Hedberg. Back to Salming. Salming trying to set up a play. Gives it to Tommy Bergman. He's got a good shot if he uses it. Here's Salming's shot, and it's shot wide of the net. Now around the boards, Bergman moving in. He takes a good hit from Repnev. The puck is loose. Eriksson picking it up. Rolf Nilsson back out to Salming, and his shot is just wide again. Now behind the net. They clear it out in front. It's shot again wide. Hedberg got that one away. Now as Hedberg gets the puck from Salming. Third in front of the net. There's the shot, and that one was blocked by Tretjak. Behind the net now for Sweden. That is Hedberg. He scores! Salming, I believe. No goal. No goal. And there's some shoving going on in front of the net. I missed a lot of that play in front of the net. I think that was the result of the washing out of the goal. We'll perhaps get a replay on this one.
Well, when the puck came out of the corner to Salming for the shot at the point, the official ruled interference in the goal crease, and here's Salming with the shot, and the interference apparently was on Tretjak, and the European teams like to do this, go through the crease, interfere with anybody that's there to get that shot away, but that was unfortunate for the Swedish team because they had controlled the play. Great shot by Salming, and rather than having the two-man advantage now, they're only going to have the one-man advantage, and having that goal called back, that has to be disappointing.
Börje Salming had scored a goal while Sweden had a two-man advantage in the game against the U.S. the other night. Scored, disallowed, ganging up on Tretjak in the crease.
2 minutes for interference at 4 minutes 40 seconds.
4:40 the time of the penalty. Interference is the call against Ulf Nilsson. So the Swedes will have a manpower advantage for 56 seconds, or 17 seconds, correction. They'll play even strength, and then Sweden will be a man short. From the face-off, back to Vasilev inside his own zone. Johansson gets it out at center ice to Salming. Salming over to Lundström. Lundström over to the far side. The return pass. Here's Johansson breaking in. A shot. And Tretjak down on his knees makes the save. And coming right out of his own end for the Soviets now is Krikунov. A long pass over the line now. It's Balderas. And down goes Arne Ostrom to make the save. And Salming covers up 2 good moves behind the net, and he'll start out. Good save by Ostrom. Over to Johansson. Johansson has stopped. Maltsev keeps it in along with Balderas. He tried to get it to Balderas, and a good defensive play there. Coming out of his own end now, it's Lundström. Lundström dropping it back. Roland Eriksson. Eriksson to the line. Here's the shot. It deflects over top of the net. Lundström moving in after it along with Vasilev. Vasilev trying to get it in front. Lundström now to Eriksson. His shot is blocked by the defense. Krikunov going down on that one. Now the Soviet Union has a man advantage. Here's Salming, a shot, and a difficult save there by Tretьяк, and he took it off the shoulder. Now around behind his own net, Maltsev. Maltsev passing ahead for Kapustin at center ice. Kapustin moving over the line. Kapustin getting set, hit the post. Off the glove, I believe, of Osten, and he hit the post. Here come the Swedes again. Brassa over the line. Brassa shooting, gloved by Tretьяk, and he hangs on, and we'll have a face-off. Lots of good action. This is Canada Cup 76 on CTV. Face-off will be to the right of Tretьяk in the Soviet zone. Stig Salming, number 8, is out there for the Swedish team. He's the older brother of Börje. Plays the right point. Of course, the Swedes are killing off a penalty at the moment, and 32 seconds remaining. As coming out of his own end is Repnev at center ice. Repnev, number 24. Stig Salming stepped into him. And Sweden takes over. Look inside their own blue line. Here's Sjöberg at center ice. Sjöberg, number 7, over the line. Sjöberg faking the shot. Lutchenko trying to make a check on him as he goes behind the net. Makes a good move. And nearly got out in front. Covering up on the post was Tretьяk. Is out at center ice now for the Soviets. It's Kapustin. Kapustin dropping it back. Repnev. Lutchenko at the blue line. Kapustin again. Kapustin trying to get it in front. Maltsev gets that pass to Kulиков. They take a shot. It went off Sjöberg's stick into the crowd, and we'll have another face-off.
The Soviet team like to get that man off the far side when they have the advantage, and you could see Kapustin hesitate and get the puck right through across the zone to Maltsev, who was alone on the far side. Perhaps there should have been a penalty on this play. The Soviet player Repnev looked back at the Canadian official, thought he was dumped, but there was no penalty on the play. Although there could have been one, possibly, Ron.
Stig Salming throwing that check against the Soviet player on the far boards. And we're set to go now with a face-off deep in the Swedish zone. From the face-off, Krukov tried to get it back. He was checked out of the play. Tommy Bergman. Bergman turning into the corner. Bergman circling the net again. He'll come out this side. Bergman to the blue line. Drops it off. Wolf Nilsson. Nilsson down the left board. Tried to get by Vasilev. He is ridden out of the play. Puck is cleared around the boards from the far side. Alexandrov. Alexandrov checked on the play as Walton moved in. Puck is loose and then cleared out in front of the net by Nilsson, and it went all the way to center ice where Bergman has it. Bergman trying to clear it back in. Khlukov knocked that down with a stick. Then Hedberg comes up with it. Over the line. Hedberg with that good speed. Tried to get around the defense. Vasilev covered up. At center ice. Eriksson leaving it for Nilsson. Wolf Nilsson back into his own end. Drops for Bergman. Bergman ducks by the check. Then clears it out to center ice. Hedberg. Hedberg rinked wide. Nilsson has it over the line. That's it. Nilsson cutting in front of the net. Hedberg gets the puck on this side. Clears it right in front. Into the pass for the Swedes. Good move by Olsen Nilsson as he got the pass and was all alone in front of that net, and Sweden has got ahead by a score of 1-0.
Well, Hedberg just made a terrific play before getting the pass to Nilsson on the far side. He gains possession of the puck, takes his time, takes a pass right across, puts Nilsson by himself. Nilsson makes one little move to hold Tretьяk, and then slips it into the far corner underneath him when Tretьяk sprawls. He just takes his time, fakes the first shot. Tretьяk goes down, then he slips it into the open net. Great play by Hedberg and Nilsson. And these two work very, very well together. There's the happy group on the bench for Sweden now.
Well, they had a tremendous year. Nilsson scoring 38 goals and 76 assists with Winnipeg last year, and over 50 goals for Hedberg. Krikunov from the face-off at center ice. Hedberg and Bergman will get the assist. 7:48 of the period, and it's 1-0 Sweden. Salming inside his own end, trying to clear it out. He does, out over the blue line, and went right by beating, and the Soviets will regroup in their own end. Behind the net, that's Bабinov. Bабinov head-manning it very quickly. Skvortsov over the line. Skvortsov, number 17 for the Soviets, is into the corner. Skvortsov being checked very, very closely there by Lundstrom, and it goes in against the boards. Referee Andre Лагассе calling it, and the face-off deep in the Swedish end.
I was talking to Coach Lindberg, who's only 31 years old, the Swedish national coach before the hockey game, and he was saying that if they could stay the first 10 to 15 minutes with the Soviet team in the first period here and either come out with a goal advantage or tied, he felt that the longer the game went on and the closer they stayed or got a little lead, the better the chance that they were going to have of winning. They didn't want to get behind in the Soviet team.
Well, they've had one called back on them. Börje Salming scoring when the Swedes have a two-man advantage, but they've got the one on the board, and it's 1-0. On the face-off, Labrotten. Shots on goal, by the way, 7-1 favor the Swedish team. They've controlled the play pretty much, although Ostrom had to make one tremendous save, and there was one goal post. Puck is back into the Soviet end. Maltsev dropping it back. Kulikov with the far boards. Kapustin getting it to center ice. That's intercepted by Brassard. Brassard over the line for Alberg. Alberg shooting. Good save. Rebound. And it's cleared away. Dangerously close. Maltsev at center ice for the Soviet Union. Shooting it in. It's deflected into the corner. Labrotten going back for it. Cleared along the boards. And here come the Swedes once again. Brassard at center ice. Brassard over the line. Clearing it over to the far corner. Alberg going in. Clears it out in front of the net. It's loose out there. Everybody turned around on the play, and it's cleared out to center ice. Labrotten going back into his own end. Bounced off the boards. Soviets controlling it. They try to go in. Number 8 is Kapustin. He goes down on the play. And starting out for Sweden is Stig Salming. Stig Salming to Hedberg. Hedberg at center ice. Over the line with Labrotten. Labrotten couldn't get the pass. Number 20 is Hedberg. He goes in after it. Luttoff along the boards, poking it free. Bergman to Hedberg to Nilsson, and his shot. Good defensive play there by Luttoff. The puck ends up behind the net. Down goes Hedberg on the play. Coming out of his own end for the Soviets, Luttoff. Luttoff hits the line, and Balderas couldn't get the pass as he was checked off the puck. Cleared around the boards to the point on this side. Vasiliev, one of the veterans, takes the shot. That's knocked down by a leg. Sweden out to center ice. They're showing a lot of team play here, the Swedish team, as it's cleared over the line. Balderas has it for the Soviet Union. Number 19, one of the fine young stars. Drops it off for Bilyaletdinov. Over to the far boards. That's Alexandrov trying to shoot it in. It deflected into the penalty bench. And we'll have another face-off.
Well, certainly Anders Hedberg, who Bobby Hull considers to be the fastest player in hockey. That line of Nilsson, Hedberg, and Eriksson, every time they're on the ice for Sweden, they're very, very dangerous, and I think they're the people that are going to lead Sweden in this contest. I don't think there's any question about that.
Talk about a year for Hedberg. We mentioned 50 goals, 55 assists, 105 points, and that was 7th in the WHA. We have not had an icing call or an offside in this hockey game yet, which is really interesting. On the face-off, we've played almost 11 minutes of the game. Cleared around the boards. Out to the point, Bабinov had it poked by him, by number 11, Lundstrom. Babinov goes back into his own end to pick it up. Babinov deep in his own end as Wickstrom's in forechecking. Gives to Krikунов. Krikунов ripped by pass over the line now. Comes Belosov, and he is checked very neatly by Börje Salming. Börje Salming showing his leadership early in this game, and as the puck is covered up, we'll have another whistle and a face-off deep in the Swedish zone. This is Canada Cup 76 on CTV. Face-off to the right of goaltender Ardi Ostrom. Centering for Sweden will be Per-Olaf Brassard. And for the Soviet Union, that is Repnev. He gets it into the corner. Battle for it in there. Trying to poke it free, and now Swedish take control. Alberg clearing it out to center ice, and back to get it will be Lutchenko. Lutchenko clearing it along the boards for Repnev. He drops it off, and Lutchenko will have it again. He leads the rush to center ice. Lutchenko over the line, deflected off the stick of Kapustin. Was deep into the zone. They pin it in there, and we'll have another face-off. The telecast of this game is presented solely for the interest of our viewers under copyright of Canada Cup of Hockey 76. Any use of this telecast without the express consent of Canada Cup of Hockey 76 is prohibited. The score, Sweden 1. The Soviet Union nothing. We've played 11 minutes and 20 seconds of the first period. Face-off deep in the Swedish end. Slutov. And he will face off against Brassard. Player getting in there too quickly. Sjoberg, the team captain of the Swedes, number 7. Positioning himself directly behind the centerman and from the face-off. Poked free by the Swedes. Trying to come out is Labrotten. He gets it out to center ice. Labrotten getting it again. And he's tied up by Schluchthoff. And Schluchthoff sends it back into his own end. Back to get it, Bilялетдинов. He sends it around the board. Brassard picks it up into the corner now. That is Labrotten. Labrotten shooting it out, and Balderas intercepted it. Balderas is over the line. Balderas with all of those moves of his just lost control of the puck. Labrotten break wide. Coming out is Nilsson. Delayed whistle on the play and a penalty for holding, and that will be called against Balderas. Second penalty he's picked up in this game. This is Canada Cup 76 on CTV.
11 minutes 51 seconds.
Well, there's Balderas in the penalty box. 11:51, the time of the penalty. And Tom, there's a look at the infraction.
Well, it looked a little more like an elbowing penalty, although the two of them went down, and Balderas was given the thumb for holding.
So the Swedes control it. Hedberg dropping it off at center ice. That's Nilsson. Ulf Nilsson just clearing it in. Digging in after it is Hedberg, but beating him to it is Bабinov around his net, and he shoots it down the ice. Berkman will go back. Berkman behind his own net. Setting things up now. He'll start out himself. Been a fine playmaker, this Berkman. Those injuries hurt his NHL career, but he's come back very well in the World Hockey Association. Now back to get it is Salming. Salming on his way out of his own end. Salming to center ice. Passing over to the far side. Hedberg gets the pass, controls it. He clears it in front, and Nilsson was just not in deep enough. Now back out to the point. Here's Roland Eriksson. To Hedberg. His backhand shot went off the stick of Krikunov into the corner. Soviets. And there's a high sticking call coming here. Perhaps. We'll see what gate goes open now. I didn't spot this one at all, Tom. It is going to be against the Soviet player, and for the second time in the game, they will play 2 men short. So they have had all kinds of penalty trouble in this game.
Well, again, there are just too many minor penalties. They can't continually try to kill off these penalties and then mount any kind of offense. The captain, Maltsev, is questioning the decision with the linesman. Actually, the linesman doesn't call the penalties. The referee went over to give the scorekeeper the penalty, but Maltsev wasn't too happy about it, and it has put his team again in a hole. And when you're continually killing penalties in a hockey game, it's very, very difficult to mount any kind of offense.
So it's Bабinov for high sticking at 12:50. Börje Salming, as we mentioned, did score a goal that was washed out because of an infraction in the goal crease by a Swedish player. That was while Sweden was playing with a 2-man advantage. They later scored the goal by both Nilsson from Hedberg and Berkman at 7:48. And that is the only goal of the game so far. But Sweden has dominated things. They have an 8-1 shots on goal margin. That one shot by the Soviets, may I say, really tested Ostrom. And the Soviets also hit a goal post. Börje Salming from the faceoff over to Sjoberg, the team captain for Sweden, number 7. He moves in now, getting a little room. There's Salming shot, and over another shot. The backhand shot taken there by Lundstrom was just over top of the net. Sjoberg moving in. Here's his shot again, and that went off the leg of defenseman Vasilev and into the crowd.
Now, when they're playing 2 men short, the Soviet team has gone into the traditional triangle, but the top man, Repnev, is backing too far off from the points, and he's giving those point men, and Sjoberg and Salming can shoot the puck, and they're just moving off that point and blasting it for all they're worth, but he's giving them too much room to move in.
Well, we've seen an awful lot of Börje Salming in this hockey game, as I suppose we would expect to. Played on all the power plays. Wolf Nilsson chased out of the face-off circle. Lundstrom will now take the draw against Repnev, and Repnev is also out of there, and moving up now will be Vasilev. From the face-off, moving in is Nilsson. Out to Sjoberg at the point. Sjoberg again getting all that room over to Salming. There's the shot. That time they counted it. A good, clean pass from about 35, 40 feet, and Sweden has taken a 2-0 lead.
Well, as we said before, they can't give those point men that much time. There's Repnev, very, very comes across from Sjoberg. Salming shoots all in one motion. A very good goal, but he's got all kinds of time and all kinds of room to shoot the puck.
Well, the Canada Cup tournament is young. The Swedes have been the only team to have a two-man advantage, and they've had that 3 times. They've scored twice, both by Salming, almost a third time, again by Salming, but on that particular two-man advantage, it was washed out, as we mentioned. So Börje Salming is a wheelman, really, and the gunner on their power play. Here's another look at this.
Here's the pass from Sjoberg across. Salming doesn't wait at all. He shoots it all in one motion, beats Tretьяк cleanly, but a very good shot from the point, and of course, Börje Salming, that's one of the things he does very, very well. He can shoot that puck.
Salming from Sjoberg and Ulf Nilsson at 13-12. When a power play goes, put Sweden in front 2-0. Here comes Salming again. They still have a manpower advantage for another minute and 28 seconds. Puck is sent deep into the Soviet zone. Around his own net, Kulиков, he tried to get loose. Roland Eriksson loses his stick, and the puck goes against the boards. Cleared out to the blue line, not out. Tommy Bergman trying to control it there, and he shot it back into the Soviet zone, and we're going to have a penalty to Ulf Nilsson here. This is Canada Cup 76 on CTV. Well, that's Anders Hedberg there, and a bit of a charge.
Yes, he was getting a little frustrated. Here he is, just taking a run. Actually charging is more than 2 steps, and he took the Soviet player into the boards, and he's given the thumb.
13:35 the time of the penalty. The team's playing at even strength. It's from the face-off Alexandrov, circling deep into his own end. Alexandrov cutting away from the forechecking there of Eriksson, gets to the center ice, and then tries for that long pass to Schlutov that failed to work. Benson playing up on it. Now here's Börje Salming. Salming over to Eriksson. Eriksson's over the line. He'll take the shot that is on Tretьяk. He was slightly handcuffed on it, but managed to hang on for another face-off.
Well, Börje Salming is just seeing an awful lot of ice here early in the hockey game, and he's played very, very well today. But he, again, threw the puck ahead, and they're getting shots of Tretьяk continually. They hold a definite advantage. The Soviets, as a matter of fact, only have 1 shot on goal, but the Swedish team have really taken advantage of these situations.
Well, they said it may be the greatest Swedish team ever put together, and they're showing very well so far in this hockey game. It's Alexandrov. Little Alexandrov to center ice, number 11 for the Soviets. He couldn't control it. Vasilev goes back into his own end. Schlutov ducking by, some checking there by Lundstrom, gets to the center ice, over to Alexandrov, over the line. Alexandrov ridden hard against the boards by Salming, and Salming has it behind his own net. Starting out, Börje Salming getting a hand from the crowd as he carries that puck to center ice. Salming to Johansson. Johansson is over the line. Johansson digging against the boards on this side. To Lundstrom at the point. Here's the shot, easily cleared away by Tretьяk. Behind the net, Lundstrom digging for it and poking it away, and controlling the puck was Bilялетдинов. The center ice to Schlutov, over to Alexandrov on the far side, and he couldn't control. Down goes Salming. Puck is pinned against the boards, and we'll have another face-off. 5:11 remaining in the first period. 1 second remaining in the penalty to the Soviet player. And then the Soviets will have a manpower advantage for 45 seconds.
Well, the Soviet team, it's going to be interesting when they do have this manpower advantage. Their power play typically in the exhibition game with the United States and in the first game with Czechoslovakia has not been very good. Not the outstanding power play that we've seen in the past. And let's see what they can do here, because certainly I think it's been one of the most disappointing parts of their play in the tournament to date.
Börje Salming getting a hand as he goes off the ice. A rare rest for Börje so far in this game, and it seems the way he's played that the whole game has sort of revolved around him so far, the times he's been on the ice. And of the 11 seconds, less than 15 minutes of this game so far, he has been on the ice a great portion. On the face-off, Sweden trying to come out. Stig Salming shooting it down into his own end, and Krikinoff will go back now as the Soviets have the man advantage. Krikinoff behind his own nets. Out to center ice. Kapustin flipping it in over the line. Repnev trying to get the break on the defense, but he was elbowed out of the play. Puck comes back to the blue line. Babinov knocking it down, giving it to Repnev. Repnev over to the blue line to Vikulov. Vikulov shooting it in. Kapustin against the far boards. Into the corner. Repnev now will try to find an open man. Along the boards. That's Kapustin out to the point. There Krikinoff has it. Back to Kapustin. Out to the point on this side. Babinov. Krikinoff into the corner to Kapustin. Moving that puck well. There's the shot. And Ostrom deflected it into the crowd. And with 1 second remaining in the penalty now to Hedberg. Face off again deep in the Swedish end.
Perhaps the Soviet teams should shoot the puck a little more. Typically, they like to work the puck when they have the advantage, take their time. Here's the quick shot from the side. They would like a little better shot than that, but they usually work the puck for one good opportunity and control it. But they haven't been getting those shots on goal, so perhaps maybe they're going to have to take some of those shots that aren't really great percentage shots just to get some on the net.
Puck is dropped. Hedberg comes out of the penalty box, and the teams are playing even strength. Hedberg gets that backhand pass at center ice. Ahead for Ulf Nilsson. Nilsson along with Eriksson over the line. Ulf Nilsson, number 17, tried to get it to Hedberg. That failed to work. Kapustin has it for the Soviet Union. Kapustin over to the far side. Down goes Repnev as he crossed the line. And here comes Sweden once again. Mats Waltin turning inside his own blue line to center ice. Ahead for Ulf Nilsson. Nilsson couldn't reach that pass, and it's called on icing. I think that's the first icing call of the hockey game, where we've had one offside so far, and we have 3:57 remaining in the first period, with Sweden leading by a score of 2-0.
There we see Krikkunov. He had a little shoving match with Nilsson in the corner after the play was over, and Krikkunov has played very, very well today. He's thrown a couple of long passes to set his forwards free, and he's passing the puck very, very well today.
Well, we've had quite a first period of hockey here. Kovin facing off against Ulf Nilsson. And they are out of the face-off circle, chased out of there by Gordy Brodziker, the linesman. Belosov now will face off for the Soviet Union. On the face-off, it is deflected wide of the net. Eriksson goes in after it. Eriksson, number 12, to Waltin. Waltin behind his own net. Along the boards, out to Lutchenko at the point. Here's a shot just deflected wide of the net. Getting a stick to it there was Ostrom. Now behind the net, Eriksson. And he is pinned in there, and another face-off. Again, deep inside Swedish territory.
Well, Eriksson, it's kind of a strange thing that Nilsson hasn't played center, but Eriksson has been moved between Nilsson and Hedberg, and he's played very, very well. And, of course, the Minnesota North Stars are very interested in this young man.
Interestingly enough, the Swedish top scorer in their first division last year is not playing for the national team. His name is Kent Nielsen, but he's only 20 years of age, and most people I've talked to said he was just a little too young, and they decided to go with some veterans. The decision seems to be a right one, at least so far in this tournament, as Sweden is doing very well. Beating against the boards, number 18 of the Los Angeles Kings of the NHL, playing for Sweden. Cleared down the ice into the Soviet zone. Back to get it is Kulиков. Rink-wide pass at center ice, Belosov, and two lines, the call on that one, and back into the Soviet zone for a face-off.
Well, Kulикov, who threw that long pass ahead to Belosov that you see there in your screen, has been an interesting change in the lineup. Gusев, one of the veteran defensemen on a team that doesn't have very many defensemen, has been benched for this hockey game, and young Kulикov has taken his place today, and really Gusев didn't have a great game against Czechoslovakia the other day.
Well, the face-off at the top rim of the circle. Cleared in front of the net. Bilyaletdinov dropping it back to Vasilev. Vasilev, one of the finest defensemen in European hockey. Out in front. Great save there by Tretьяк. Quick shot taken by Lundstrom. Puck is out to center ice. Soviets trying to control. Balderas breaking in over the line, but Börje Salming beats him to it. Salming turning in the corner, controlling that puck again as he has done all afternoon. Coming out of his own end for Sweden. Vikström clearing it over the line, right on Tretьяк. Tretьяk leaving it for Vasilev. Vikström moves in, throws the check. Bilyaletdinov picking up the loose puck. Out to center ice. To the far boards where Salming has it. Börje Salming. Cutting in front of his own net. Clears it out to center ice. Vasilev at the blue line to Alexandrov on the far side. Alexandrov has to circle back. Checking by the Swedes, very good, and there's Lundstrom picking up the puck. Lundstrom's over the line as Brassau moves up. They clear it rink wide, an open wing. Johansson started to move in after it, thought better of it, and it's cleared out to center ice, right past Balderas. And Salming behind his net. Passing for Hallberg. Albrechten lost that one, and the puck goes against the boards, covering up very neatly with Schuberg. Back to the point, Vasilev. Maltsev is checked. Coming out now for Sweden is Labrotten. Labrotten hits the line, and he's offside. Too quick on the left wing was Ahlberg. And we'll have another face-off in the center ice area.
Alexander Maltsev, who you see here, there has been a change forced upon the Soviets through Shalamov's injury, and although Maltsev was at center, he's showing his versatility today. He's been moved on the wing with Repnev and Kapustin, but he was playing at center with Shalamov the night before, but their line has been broken up because of the injury.
Well, Alexander Maltsev, the team captain, he's played in 6 world championships, and they hope that he would be the settling factor for the young team. As puck is cleared into Tretjak, he just leaves it at the side of his net. And dangerously, it's cleared out to Bабinov in the area in front of the net. Over to Krikунов, out to center ice. Maltsev turning around a couple of checks, then feeds it to the far side. Kapustin going after it along with Stig Salming. And Salming beat him to it. Alberg to center ice for Labrotten, and Bабinov goes back into his own end. He leaves it for Krikунov. Krikунov out over the line, and now here's Brassard. Brassard is turned around, and Maltsev has it. Maltsev over the line. Repnev back to Maltsev. Maltsev trying to find a man in front. He shoots right on. Down is Ostrom. He's made the save. Just the 3rd shot on goal for the Soviet Union. And all 3 of them have been of the good variety. Ostrom has been tested.
Well, Maltsev made a very good play. He held on to the puck, faked 2 passes, then shot quickly, and I thought maybe the puck had slipped under Ostrom's pads, but he did hold on to it, and a very good play by Maltsev.
Well, we said at the outset of this telecast that the big question mark for Sweden was their goaltending. That if the goaltending stood up, they would be something to be reckoned with, and so far in this game it has. Obviously did also against the U.S. I'll take that face-off again. Kovin facing off against Nilsson. That's Ulf Nilsson from the face-off, back behind the net. Valtin running into his own player. Leaves it over for Hedberg. It ends up at center ice. Lutchenko going after it along with Kovin. Kovin gets it back to Lutchenko. Chasing deep into his own end. Then he tried to give it to Kovin, and that was a turnover and deep in the own zone, the Soviet zone, but then they recovered very quickly as Kulikoff. And he loses it. They're sloppy as they get it in front of the net. Again they get it. Hedberg shooting twice and both times wide. Kulikoff in the corner. Soviets guilty of coughing up the puck a couple of times in their own end. Still with the puck. As they clear to the point, there's Tommy Bergman shooting it in. Ulf Nilsson behind the net. He's bumped out of the play by Kulikoff. Hedberg goes in after it, and as players go down on top of the puck, it is whistled down. We have 31 seconds remaining in the first period with Sweden leading 2-0.
Well, Kulikoff and Lutchenko were very, very loose in handling the puck. Young Kulikoff, who, as I said before, has taken Gusev's place on that defense pairing, is guilty a number of times of just throwing the puck away. Here he is in a man-to-man situation with Nilsson. They both go to the ice, but both he and Lutchenko were very, very loose, throwing the puck without looking in their own zone, and it caused them all kinds of problems inside that blue line.
So the face-off deep in the Soviet end. There's Clarence Campbell, president of the National Hockey League, watching this game. The face-off now. Vasiliev just shovels it off into the corner on the far side. There's Lundstrom. Lundstrom controlling it, then shooting it into the corner. Lots of rough going in there right now as the final seconds of this period ticking by. Johansson waiting for men to get onside, shoots it back in, and Bäckström was a little slow coming out, called on the offside, and we'll have a face-off again in the center ice area with 15 seconds left. There's Frank Selke Sr., one of the great administrators in the National Hockey League history. In his seat down at the far end of the Montreal Forum. On his way out now, the puck is cleared out to center ice and down into the Swedish zone. Back to get it is Börje Salming. Salming clearing it around the boards as the siren goes to end the first period of play. Is Bergman to Nilsson. Nilsson runs into a hard check. Puck is behind the net. Bergman stick handling his way through traffic, shoots it up ice, and it goes right on the Soviet goal. No icing on this one as Kulikoff circles in his own end. Kulikoff to the far side for Skvortsov. Skvortsov is checked at the blue line, and the puck comes behind the Soviet net again. The Swedes doing a good job of forechecking here. In there is Labrotten. Labrotten along the boards for Brassard. They try to get it out, and it was knocked down at the blue line by Schuberg, but he felt he had to go back as Belosov broke loose. Belosov taking a shot that's wide. Against the board, Skvortsov moving into the corner. Digs Salming. Salming for the Swedes. Loses it. Skvortsov getting it out in front and trying to poke it free with Belosov. He goes after it in the far corner. Now they clear it out in front. There's a quick shot on Ostrom. He had the angle covered up very well. and he covers up on the puck, and it's called for a face-off. This is Canada Cup 76 on CTV. That was the first shot on goal on Hardy Ostrom in the period. There, you chance to look at it, Tom.
Yes, a very quick pass coming out of the corner, and Kovin shot quickly, but Ostrom was there to make the stop. But the puck did come out of the corner, and the Soviets are showing a little more life early in this period.
They're down 2-0 to Sweden from the face-off. Try to get it out, and Salming just let it go by him as he made the check in the corner. Backhanded along the boards by Johansson, out to Bilялетдинов, over to the far side. There's Vasiliev's shot. Puck is loose. Repnev goes after it. He had it hop over his stick, and Johansson trying to get loose. Kapustin checked him. Borje Salming taking a golf shot at it. It ended up in the corner, and we'll come back for a face-off deep in the Swedish end. Reminder right after this game, the Carling O'Keefe Most Valuable Player Award. And Borje Salming won that award in the opening game of the series for Sweden against the United States. Alexander Maltsev, the most valuable player in their game against Czechoslovakia. Back to action as puck is cleared out to center ice. Hammarström going after it. He comes in over the line. Inga Hammarström, number 19, digging in behind the net along with Vasiliev, and they hold it in there, and we'll have another face-off. Stars of the Soviets and one of the veterans. 4 world championships he's played on, 2 Olympic teams, good hard checker, 27 years of age. Again, they try to keep some of these veterans around as stabilizing influences. He also plays a good hard knocking brand of hockey, and they like that now in the new style Soviet play. Borje Salming inside his own end, clearing it out to center ice. Kulikoff will go back into his own end for it. With Valderas and Lutchenko also circling back. Valderas breaking up the right side. Kulikoff beating it ahead. Valderas had it go behind him. Out of his net is Ostrom. He shoots it into the corner. Along the board, slooped off, and it went right by the defense, Lutchenko. And Kulikoff back in his own end. To Lutchenko. Lutchenko. Ducking by the forechecking of Ulf Nilsson, then tried to get it over for Alexandrov. That went off the heel of his skate. Coming in over the line is Ulf Nilsson, and getting to the puck first was Kulikoff, but Nilsson gets it back. Here's a shot right on this fucking shot. Good save by Tretьяк, and the rebound was cleared right back to him by one of his own players. Now into the corner. Lutchenko along the boards for Alexandrov. They cleared in front. Ulf Nilsson trying to find a man in front, getting tied up. He's still trying to get a shot away. Lutchenko ties him up again. Still loose, and finally a shot is batted wide of the net by Nilsson. Go against the boards. Trying to pin it in there now and hold it for a face-off. We played 5 minutes and 11 seconds in the second period. Sweden leading 2-0.
Well, Ulf Nilsson made some very good plays again. He holds the puck, doesn't take bad shots, and kept working for a good opportunity. The Soviet defenseman didn't quite tie him up in front of the net, and he got a quick little shot on goal that almost got by Tretьяк.
Shows that ability to move in close quarters. Well, I think we're going to
Here he is, holding on to it, not getting rid of it. Keeps working, keeps pushing away. Eventually gets another backhand shot, but he had 2 or 3 good opportunities in the last shift.
Now it's Hedberg facing off for Sweden against Kovin. He gets the draw to Volton. To Bergman. Here's a shot that's right on. Good save by Tretьяк there as the puck goes behind the net. For the Soviet Union, that's Skvortsov. He puts it right over to Nilsson. Back into the corner. Moving after it is Eriksson. Roland Eriksson right out in front. Loose puck now, and down goes Nilsson, and the puck is cleared away by Skvortsov. Again, very alert was Tretьяк. Skvortsov at center ice. Over the line, along with Krikунов. Krikунov taking a shot. He's wide of the net. There's going to be a penalty to the Swedes. Behind the net, Kovin. Tretьяк out of his net. Krikунov clearing it into the corner. Belosov one-handing that puck. It comes out in front, and finally the whistle goes as the Swedish player Ulf Nilsson cleared it out over the line, and Sweden will go a man short. This is Canada Cup 76 on CTV. Well, there he he is in the penalty box for Sweden. That is Tommy Bergman, 5:51 for interference. Official survey taken, Tom, just to show how Canada Cup. Maybe we'll get a chance here, first of all, to take a look at the penalty. Puck goes back into the corner. An official survey taken of that Czech-Soviet game, Czechoslovakia, to open the telecasts of the regular Canada Cup tournament. And 7.6 million Canadians watched that game. 1 out of every 3 men, women, and children in this country. International hockey. The puck is cleared down the ice by the Swedes. They're killing off a penalty now. 1:45 remaining as the puck goes deep into the Soviet end. Turning with it and on his way out now is Maltsev to Gusев. Gusев to Kapustin. Vasilev, number 6 for the Soviets. Being chased back into his own end by Brassar. Vasilev over to the far side. Maltsev. Maltsev ahead. Kapustin deflected it into the Swedish zone. Schubert behind his own net, stopping, beating it off. Vasilev couldn't hold it at the blue line, and they'll regroup. 1:15 left in the penalty. Kapustin ahead, intended for Vasilev, but went right by him. Brassar banging it off the board back to center ice. Kapustin to Maltsev. Maltsev over to the far side. Vasilev trying to clear it in. Gets it again. Over the line for Kapustin. Kapustin taking a shot wide of the net. Repnev throws a check in there. Comes back to the blue line for Vasilev. Vasilev in for Maltsev. Out in front. Kapustin shot is wide. He gets it again. Picking it out of the air with Ostrom. Good save there.
Well, Maltsev has made a very good play to get the puck across to Kapustin, but Kapustin is completely frustrated. He missed the net with the shot when he was all alone in front of the net in the slot. He also earlier in the shift threw a bad pass, and he just put his hands on his hips as if to say, well, you know, what am I going to do now? But here he is. He had a very good opportunity. He shot it quite a ways wide, although he wasn't really forced to shoot that quickly. And really, if he'd have taken a little more time, he would have had a better opportunity on the net.
Alexander Maltsev on his way off the ice as the Soviets make a change. 43 seconds remaining in the power play. Sweden leading 2-0. 7:08 gone in the second period. And almost a do-or-die situation for the Soviet Union.
On the last shift, the Soviets had Gusев out for the first time, playing on the point. He's got a very good shot for the point, and although he's got Kulikoff back on now, he did give Gusев one shift.
Puck is backhanded down the ice by Borja Salming. Kulikoff back behind his own net. Starting out, ahead for Schluchthoff with center ice. Schluchthoff over to the far boards, in over the line now is Balderas, and his shot is blocked very neatly by Borja Salming, who's sliding along on his knee. Now it's golfed down the ice by Anders Hedberg, and Kulikoff will go back with 15 seconds remaining in the penalty. Kulikoff gets some skating room to center ice. Kulikoff is over the line. Kulikoff fakes the shot into the corner. Kulikoff trying to backhand it away, and it's picked up by Ulf Nilsson ahead to Hedberg. Back to Nilsson to Hedberg. Hedberg turned around on the play. He was in ahead of the play. Ulf Nilsson circling back. Teams are at full strength now as the puck is served back in. Out to center ice. 2-on-1. Alexandrov shooting, and it's blocked by Salming. The rebound. They shoot again. And Ostrom makes a great save. Two fine defensive plays there. Salming first and then Ostrom on the save.
Salming looks very tired here, but there's a quick little pass by Kulikoff to Alexander. He shoots the first time. The defenseman stops it, gets the rebound, and Ostrom comes up with a very good stop. But here's the first shot, blocked. Alexandrov keeps going, however. He doesn't give up on the puck, then shoots the backhand, and Ostrom came up with a very good glove stop.
Almost in jubilation as he has made another save. He's had only 6 shots on goal, but he's had to make, I would say, 4 very good saves. Soviets in their usual pattern of a sparsity of shots, but every one of them a tester. Here's Borja Salming trying to get over the line. He does. One hands the puck in behind the net, takes a good hit from Bабинов. And the Soviets come back. Kovin at center ice. Kovin over the line, trying to feed it ahead for Belosov, and covering up is Ostrom. And again, we'll have a face-off.
Well, the Swedish wingmen are really doing a good job coming back. Kovin made a very good little move, made one move on the defenseman, slipped it on the side. Well, here's Bабинов with a hard check on Salming just before the Soviet team was able to break out.
Hammerstrom from the face-off, back to Salming behind the net. Juha Beating circling back. Salming will start out, looking for somebody to pick up that pass, gives it to center ice to Lundstrom. Lundstrom one-handing it ahead for Hammerstrom, and Hammerstrom just couldn't reach it. Called on the icing, and back it'll come. That is only Sweden's second icing call of the game, only the second in the game. This is Canada Cup 76 on CTV. Minutes and 47 seconds gone in the period. 11:13 left, as you see on the clock. Ulf Nilsson and Börje Salming have scored for Sweden, and Sweden leads by a score of 2-0 over the Soviet Union. Play is in the Swedish end. Swedes trying to get loose in front of that net. It's poked away into the corner. Kapustin out to Bilялетдинов at the blue line. Here's his shot. That is blocked by Brassar. They clear it in front of the net. Kapustin, as the puck was over his head, let it go by. It Stig Salming. Out to center ice, Bilялетдинов over to the far side for Vasilev. He circles as he's checked very closely by Lars-Goran Nilsson. Alberg over the line, clearing it in front, and it cuts the puck wide as Nilsson was cutting through the area in front of the net. Vasilev out to the blue line. Schuberg knocks it down there. Here's the shot, and it comes to Kapustin, who shoots it out over the line to Maltsev. Maltsev along with Repnev over the line. Maltsev trying to backhand a pass. It ends up on Vasiliev's stick to Maltsev. Maltsev trying to get set. He does. Good shot. Rebound. Score! Kapustin knocks it in.
What a play by Maltsev before the goal. He made a great move, just holding back on his shot, taking it to the side, and then slipping it to Kapustin. But here he is. Oops. Howdy do. Brings it around. Shoots all in one motion. The puck comes off to the side, and Kapustin bangs it in. But Maltsev made a great play. Here it is again. Vasiliev slips the puck to Maltsev. Up, around, quick shot, on the side. Kapustin puts it in and brings the Soviets back in the hockey game.
Well, Ostrom was very lucky to make the first save as it deflected directly in front of him. He got his pad on it, but then he couldn't control the rebound, obviously, and that's when Kapustin got a chance to knock it in. So it becomes interesting now as the Soviet Union gets some life. They trail 2-1. Sweden has the 2-1 lead. Kapustin from Maltsev and Vasiliev at 9:42 of the period. On the backhand now, it's Schuberg from behind the net. Out in front now comes Hedberg. Hedberg trying to get a shot away, and it was knocked away. And the Soviets coming back as Alexandrov comes over the line. He drops it off for Balderas. Balderas trying to get set, then drops it to the blue line to Lutchenko. His shot knocked down by Bergman in front of the net. Into the corner, Alexandrov. Alexandrov over to the far side, past Sluptov. He swings into the corner. Sluptov looking for a man out in front, and he is pulled down from behind. Hedberg gets it. Hedberg turning and coming to center ice. Hedberg over the line, stopping, and it goes behind Ulf Nilsson. The Soviets turning around and coming out. Sluptov at center ice for Lutchenko. Lutchenko to Kulikov. Kulikov over the line, partially fanned on his pass, and the puck is flipped back out to center ice. 9:09 remaining in the period. Sweden leading 2-1 as the puck is cleared in. Icing the call as Walton goes back to touch it. And we'll have a face-off deep in the Soviet end.
Lutchenko tried to make a quick pass there, but I really think his group was pretty tired out there, and I don't think he really cared whether the pass was all that crisp or not, because it went for icing and allowed the Soviets to get a change, and they got caught a little long in that last shift.
Juha Beating out there along with for the Swedish team toward Lundstrom and Inge Hammerstrom, and from the face-off behind the net for the Soviets, it's Krikунов. Krikунov along the boards. He's ridden out of the play there. Kovin clearing it behind the net. Bабinov along the boards. Intended for Belosov at center ice. Börje Salming covering up. Rink wide on the far side. Out to center ice. Börje Salming. Salming losing to Kovin. That's Kovin number 12. Checked by Beating. Bабinov circling in his own end now. Babinov to Krikунov. Krikунov off the boards, trying to get it there to Kovin. That failed to work. Börje Salming. Salming Johansson. There's a glove lying on the ice down in the Soviet end. I can't see which player it is. Not with his equipment. It may be Börje Salming. It is. Salming has the puck right now. Salming, number 5 for Sweden. Salming trying to work it out over the line. Salming getting it tied up in his skate. Finally, it's cleared out to center ice. Called on the 2-line pass. The offside. It'll come back for a face-off just inside the Swedish line.
Well, Salming had the glove off, taken off his hand, and the coach checking just inside the Soviet line. And, well, he plays just as well without his glove as he does with it on, but I'm sure he doesn't want to play for too long, because a few two-handers against the knuckles would probably remove some of his effectiveness for the afternoon.
If not for the tournament. Puck is cleared out to center ice. Vasilev being chased back into his own end. Labrotten in there for checking, number 21 for Sweden. Vasilev fighting him off. Vasilev is losing his stick there with Alberg. Vasilev along the boards. Kapustin couldn't reach that pass. Bilялетдинов. Bilялетдинов to the far side for Vasilev. Vasilev ahead for Repnev. Repnev to Maltsev. Maltsev hitting the line, and he couldn't duck through the checking of Stig Salming. And back out at center ice. Bilялетдинов has it. Leaves for Maltsev. Maltsev swinging into his own end. Ahead for Kapustin. He's offside. He went in ahead of the puck. This is Canada Cup 76 on CTV. Well, the face-off will be in the center ice area. Some play seems to be picking up a little bit from the Soviet side.
Yes, I think the Soviet Union, I don't think there's any question. The goal has given them a little lift, and they're playing this period with a little more enthusiasm, a little more zest, a little more zingo here.
Well, they trail by only 1 now, and they're, of course, playing for almost their tournament lives here. A loss here would just about put them out, barring disaster for some of the other teams who are rated as contenders here. Here's Slutkov knocking it down at the blue line. Moving in is Lutchenko. Lutchenko couldn't control it against Nielsen. Tried to kick it out, but it's cleared out in front. Loose, they hit the side of the net, just grazed the goalpost for that shot. Alexandrov got it away, and he goes after it again behind the net against Roland Eriksson. Valtin moves in, and a little bit of shoving between Alexandrov and Valtin, but nothing comes of that. Close call there. Alexandrov raising the post.
Alexandrov's little, but I'll tell you, he doesn't back away from anybody. Here he is with Hedberg. I don't know what words they're exchanging, but they're certainly not friendly. But Alexandrov is a Spitfire, and he doesn't back away from anything, and he came within an inch of tying this hockey game up.
On the face-off against the boards, Kulikov. Hedberg throwing it up to center ice. Eriksson's over the line. Eriksson trying to duck through the check of Lutchenko, but Lutchenko controlled it. Up to center ice. Tommy Bergman moves in and really hit Balderas, who looked for a penalty on the play. Now Balderas gets the pass again. He's over the line. Balderas making the shot, and it's poked away from him again by Bergman. Lutchenko at his own line. For Balderas. Wolf Nielsen throws a check on him. Here comes Slutkov over the line along with Alexandrov. Slutkov to Alexandrov. And he was ridden out of the play. Interference will be the call against Lothar. That was a good penalty.
Well, it was a good penalty, certainly, but why Slutkov in the world would not shoot the puck? I can't understand that. The first man to go down is Lutchenko. He is checked very, very hard by Nielsen, and he was hurt. But they got the puck ahead, and Slutkov had a complete breakaway here. Here's the puck slipped by Balderas in. Slutkov slips it behind the defender. Now, why wouldn't he shoot here? He's got all kinds of room. Instead of that, he tries to make the prettiest play in the world, and they don't even get a shot on net. Alexandrov ends up in a crumple behind the net, and we don't even have a shot. But I can't understand why Slutkov, in that position, would certainly not shoot the puck.
I'll tell you something. Brassard made a play there that was a borderline penalty. Very, very close to just being a good check. But he draws the 2-minute minor. Brassard for interference at 13:40. And Sweden will play a man short. They lead in the game by just 1. From the face-off now, the Swedes try to bring it out. It's kept in there. Here's Kapustin moving to the boards. Back to the blue line for Gusev. Gusev, Kapustin. They try to get it back to Gusev, and that was knocked down. Börje Salming finding that opening and shooting it down the ice. Back to get it. Vasilev behind his own net. Vasilev working with Gusev. Gusev out over the line. Now over the line, Repnev. He is ridden out of the play there by Schuberg. And as the 2 players go down, the puck is flipped out to center ice by Lundstrom. Gusef back into his own end. I think this is one of the rare appearances by Gusef in this game. Kapustin gets the pass. Kapustin over the line, number 8 for the Soviets, against the boards on the far side, and Schuberg moves in and he shoots it out. Soviets not penetrating at this moment. That's been the story really on their power play. Here's Maltsev. Maltsev going deep into the corner. Maltsev still with it, clears it out into the slot. There's nobody there that can pick it up, and Gusef knocks it down at center right. Passing for Kapustin. Kapustin clearing it to the far boards, intended for Maltsev. Lundstrom shooting it in. Ron Andrews tells me that that is just the second appearance by Gusef, and both appearances on the power play. Kovin. Gusef have been noted for taking penalties, and something the Soviets are trying to avoid at this stage, trying to come back as they are. Deep into the zone. Clearing it around the boards, and out to center ice again, the Swedes. They draw a good hand for their penalty killing as Vasilev comes back. Vasilev. The blue line, takes the shot, flips it into the corner. Went right by Skvortsov on the far boards. Now along the blue line, that's Belosov. Puts it in front of the net. It's loose in there. They try to get it in front again, and moving in and clearing it away to the boards is Börje Salming, and he just backhand flips it down the ice. And back to get it will be Vasilev. The penalty has been killed, and icing will be the call. This is Canada Cup 76 on CTV. Well, we mentioned that 7.6 million people watched the Czechoslovakian-Soviet game across this country. Well, we've got broadcasts out of the Montreal Forum this afternoon to the Soviet Union, Sweden, Czechoslovakia, Finland. From the faceoff, Slukov takes the shot and went off the inside of the pad of Ostrom and right through the back and out against the boards on the far side. Now it's Alexandrov being ridden out of the play there by Bergman. They pin it against the boards, and Bergman and Alexandrov are not exactly happy with each other, especially Alexandrov.
Well, we don't see the Soviets getting into too many altercations. Alexandrov is one who, as I said before, won't back away. But I think they're getting a little frustrated. Here's Zluktov moving in. He shot this time and hit the inside of Ostrom's pad and bounced into the corner, but he came within an ace of tying it up. Well, I guess he decided to shoot the puck.
Now from the faceoff for Sweden, cleared over to the far side. We have 3:54 left in the period. Sweden leading 2-1. That's offside. Back out for a faceoff outside the Soviet line.
I was really impressed with the Swedish penalty killing on the last man and in their box and allowing the Soviets unlimited time to handle the puck in the zone. They're chasing them. They're forcing them to make a mistake and then ice the puck very many times there. But they're not just sitting back and waiting for them.
Soviets flipping it out to center ice. Knocked down by Baltin out there to Hedberg. Eriksson. Eriksson over the line. Nilsson was breaking there, but it was intercepted neatly by the defense. Balderas down the right side. Balderas with that great speed. Working to the corner. He's ridden out of the play by Tommy Bergman. Out in front. Here's the shot by Alexandrov. Ostrom makes a fine save. Out to center ice. Babinov. Back into his own zone now. Sweden leading 2-1. The Soviets putting some pressure on in this period. Krikunov. At center ice intended for Alexandrov. He turns and just fires it into the Swedish zone, and back to get it is Juha Beating. Beating shooting it back into the Soviet end. Vasilyev's there in forechecking his Hedberg along with Beating, and Hedberg gets that bad pass to Hammerstrom, and he tries to get a shot away, and he's tied up. Now it's Maltsev. Maltsev against the boards. Hammerstrom bumped by Kapustin. Maltsev goes over the line and covering up his Hammerstrom. Far side for the Swedish team is Johansson. He gets it out to center ice. Kapustin gets the return pass. Kapustin over the line. Kapustin trying to duck by the stick checking there of Börje Salming, and that shot went off Salming's ankle. He seemed to favor it momentarily as Hammerstrom got the long pass and just couldn't control it. Kapustin over the line. Salming made the check as he played the man on it. Turning with it is Maltsev. Maltsev trying to get by Johansson. That didn't work. Vasilev to Kapustin over the line, digging for it. Into the corner, that's Repnev. Repnev is chased out of the play. Puck is bounced out to the center ice area. Bilялетдинов out there to Vasilev. Ahead, Repnev to Kapustin. Hammerstrom tries to come back. Kapustin makes the long shot on Ostrom. And Börje Salming behind the net. Salming Starting out slowly, trying to slow things up a bit. Gets it to the blue line, not out. Soviets trying to control, but Johansson covers up and then gets it out to center ice to Lundstrom. Lundstrom to Wieding. Wieding unable to control as he hit the line. Vasilev to Maltsev. Over to Bilялетдинов. Number 5 for the Soviets. 1:30 remaining in the period. Salming picks up the puck inside his blue line. Lundstrom getting out to center ice. Kovin checking pretty close here as nobody is able to get anything going. That comes deep into the Swedish zone, icing the call, and we'll have another face-off. We have 1:18 left in the period. Sweden leading 2-1. And at this point, maybe both teams feeling the strain of a hard period of hockey. Nothing really too cohesive.
Both teams are changing very quickly now. I think they're getting a little tired at the end, but the coaches are not wasting too much time. They're making their changes very fast.
Face off to the left of the Soviet goal. Kovin facing off as Labrat gets the puck from center iceman Brassard. Goes to the far boards, and then it's cleared to center ice. Schuberg out there. Schuberg put it right into Kovin. Kovin over the line, but couldn't control it. Then fanned on his attempted pass as he took a check from Schuberg. It's held in there, and another face-off will resume. 1:03 remaining. First of 2 games on CTV. Tonight, Canada meets the United States here at the Montreal Forum. The telecast across the CTV network at 8 o'clock. Less than a minute remaining now. Schuberg. Late stages of the second period. It's cleared out to center ice. Alberg couldn't control it out there. Kulikov in his own end. Being chased behind his net by Labratin. Out to center ice. Skvortsov didn't see that pass to the last possible second and then couldn't control it. Back to the blue line. Salming. That's Stig Salming shooting it in. Digging in after it now. That's Labratin. Labratin into the corner. Firing it out in front. Skvortsov at center ice. 25 seconds left. Skvortsov over the line. There's the shot. Went off Salming's leg into the corner. Schuberg jamming in the corner along with Alberg, and it's held there. And another face-off deep in the Swedish end with 17 seconds left in the second period.
Well, there's Schuberg, and he's playing a very strong game. The captain of the Swedish team. He's been controlling the puck, and he, along with Borje Salming, have had a very outstanding hockey game up until this point. Here he is taking out Bellousov against the boards, and actually the official blows the whistle very, very quick at this point.
On the face-off, on his way out of his own end now is Eriksson. Eriksson passing to Ulf Nilsson, and Nilsson lost it as he crossed the line. Valtin at center ice. To Hedberg. Hedberg is ridden out of the play by Krikунов, and against the boards as the siren goes. Sweden leading the Soviet Union by a score of 2-1. Only 1 goal in that second period. Kapustin scoring from Maltsev, and Vasiliev at 9, even a Toyota Celica GT automobile. Tremendous incentive for the players. We start the third period. Borje Salming behind his own net. Lundstrom, number 11 for Sweden. Over now for Hammarström, and Hammarström shooting it in. Gusef back to get it. Gusef, for the first time on the ice, not on a power play situation. Alexandrov goes down as he hits the line, but shot it in. Beating back behind his own net for Sweden. To Hammarström on the far side. Hammarström back in front of the net for Björn Johansson. Johansson to Beating. Number 18 over the line, but he could not reach that pass. Klukov to Kulikov. He ducks by a check from Lundstrom. Kulikov over the line. Kulikov working to the net. Tried to get a shot away, and that went off Borje Salming's stick and into the corner. Cleared out to center ice. Hammarström. Hammarström couldn't get by Gusev. On this side, Kulikov. Kulikov shooting it in. Gloved to the ice by Björn Johansson. Right in front of the net, Alexandrov over for Klukov. Klukov couldn't get a shot away. Having trouble controlling that, here comes Borje Salming. Salming to Hammarström, 2 teammates from Toronto. At center ice, they lose it as they hit the line. Alexandrov turning to Gusev. Gusev ahead. Oh, there is over the line. He gets a shot away. Kicked into the corner by Ostrom. Cleared back in front of the net. Chasing over to this side is Björn Johansson, and he shoots it into the players' bench of the Soviets, and we'll have a face-off.
One interesting point to watch in this period will be the conditioning of both teams. It's a little warm in the rink now, and in the second pre-tournament game that these two teams played in Gothenburg in Sweden, the Soviets in the third period of the second game just put it in overdrive. It was 2-2 at the end of 2 periods, and they came ahead 4-2 at the end of the game and outshot the Swedish team by a wide margin. So it might be interesting to watch the conditioning in this period.
To the far side now, Hedberg being checked in the corner by Bilялетdinov. He tries to get it out in front. Here's Vasilev, a good sliding save there by Tommy Bergman. Puck out at center ice. Roland Eriksson trying to get it to Hedberg. That failed to work, and Maltsev turns. Maltsev comes over the line. Maltsev cutting in front of the net, dropped it off for Repnev. Here's his shot. It's deflected off the stick into the crowd. Face-off will be inside the Swedish end.
Finally, veteran Maltsev, he made a very good play. He faked, he came across the inside, he drew 2 Swedish defenders with him, dropped the puck to Repnev, and the deflection just went over the goal and out into the crowd. But it was a very good play by Maltsev.
Maltsev was the star of the game against Czechoslovakia for the Soviets. As a centerman, he's playing right wing in this game. It's from the face-off. Ostrom slides out of his goal crease with the puck, and it's called again for a face-off. We played 1:58 here in the third period. 2-1. Sweden is leading. On the face-off into the corner it goes. Turning with it is Valtin. Valtin along the boards. Eriksson out to center ice. In over the line comes Hedberg. There's his shot. It's steered into the corner by Tretjak. Vasilev goes in after it. Maltsev clearing it to center ice. Bergman over to Schuberg. They shoot it in. That's Valtin that shot it in. Bilялетdinov. Vasilev touches it. Bilялетdinov against the boards. Wolf Nilsson. Also Eriksson. They cut across in front of the net. Repnev with the puck for the Soviets. Number 24. Ahead for Maltsev. He put it right on Eriksson's stick, and he shot it back deep into the Soviet end. Vasilev starting out on the left side. That pass off the heel of the skate of Nilsson. Now it's cleared ahead for Maltsev. Maltsev to the blue line. Maltsev trying to duck through the defense. Sticking right with him was Tommy Bergman, and he shot it back out to center ice. Vasilev back there. Ahead for Maltsev to Belosov. Belosov back to Maltsev. He was in too deep. Puck against the board. Sliding into the corner is Kovin. Maltsev right through the crease. Moving in now from the point. That is Krikунov. He tried a shot. Alberg unable to control it. Krikунov gets it back. Kovin was checked, and the puck comes back to center ice where Vasilev has it. Now to Alberg. Alberg is over the line. There's a shot, and a screen shot it was through Vasiliev's legs, and very alert was Tretjak. Coming out now is Kovin. Kovin dropping it off. Krikунov ahead for Belosov. He's over the line. Kovin gets the return pass with Skvortsov, and he shoots it backhanded actually into the goal crease area. Alstrom. Big Salmon just sent Kovin to the ice. And protecting their goaltender, they didn't like a little of that goal crease activity.
Kovin was digging at the puck, trying to get it loose, getting a little frustrated. But actually, if he was a little more patient, he might have got the opportunity without digging, because that puck might have come loose on its own. But the Swedish players, well, here we have the shot on the Soviet end. The Soviets turn quickly, move it back up the ice, and Repnev, that's the shot that Tretjak had to be alert on before Krikунov moved the puck out. However, they move it right down into the Swedish end. One thing that the Soviet team has is they've got lots of patience. They take the time. Here's the pass to Belosov. Belosov moved in, got it to Kovin to get the shot, and he was digging away at that rebound.
Kovin facing off for the Soviet Union, got the draw, comes back to the blue line to Babinov. Babinov just keeping it inside the line, kicking it along the ice was Johansson. It comes loose. Belosov trying to get it in front, and it's just poked away there by Börje Salming. Behind the net, Kovin putting it out in front, and then Salming backhanded it into the crowd. And we'll have another face-off. We played 3:59 here in the third period. 2-1, Sweden leading.
I think the Swedish team has to attack a little more now. They seem to be sitting back and letting the Soviets bring the game to them. I don't know whether this is a reflection of their conditioning, but they're slowing it down. But you can't sit in that defensive shell. You've got to, when you get the opportunities, you've got to move out with it. But they seem to be very defensive at this point. And Salming just throwing the puck into the crowd when they're in a little trouble, that's indication of the type of hockey that they're playing now.
Alexandrov facing off against Beating from the face-off. Salming flipping it out to center ice. Here's Lundstrom breaking away. Lundstrom's over the line, and it rolled off the end of his stick. Kulikov getting back very quickly. Puck comes to the side of the net now. Gusev after it. Salming, that's Stig Salming. Börje Salming moving in. There's a quick shot. Lundstrom against the boards on this side to Hammarström. Back out in front for Lundstrom, and hopped over his stick, and Beating to Lundstrom in the corner. Hammarström getting the pass. There's his shot on the short side, and it hit the side of the net. Alexandrov overskated the puck. Now starting out is Gusev, being checked by Beating. They go against the board. Lundstrom moving in after it, trying to poke it along the boards. Johansson now has it, and they'll pin it against the boards. Beating also in there, and Gusev, and another face-off. 2-1, Sweden is leading. This is Canada Cup 76 on CTV. The line of Repnev, Kapustin, also Maltsev. Get the takeout in front of the net there is from the face-off. Maltin shooting it in. Offside on that one. Face-off will be outside the blue line of the Soviets.
It's interesting here that the Swedish team moved Nilsson, who is normally a center, but they've got him playing the wing. They move him in here to take a few of the draws. I expect because of his experience that he has playing a center in Winnipeg.
Face-off, Eriksson shooting it in. Hedberg digging in after it along with Vasiliev. Vasiliev, the veteran, he chased in the corner. Ulf Nilsson also in there to the far corner. Kapustin. Kapustin had to roll off his stick. Hedberg has it. Hedberg trying to get it out in front. He does. Roland Eriksson spun around as he tried to go for that puck. Vasiliev tackling him against the boards. Now it's out in front. The quick shot there by Hedberg, and he goes for the crease as Tretьяк goes down. He'll hold on a face-off. Bilялетdinov then took a run at Hedberg.
Well, the very alert play of Nilsson. He gets the puck, and Hedberg doesn't waste any time. He shoots the puck quickly from the slot. But again, that pair, Nilsson, Hedberg, they throw the puck around very well, and they're certainly the most dangerous offensive Swedish group.
Well, it's a very important hockey game early in the Canada Cup 76 series. Sweden leading by a score of 2-1, and this is the first half of a doubleheader on CTV. Have your supper ready, Mom, at home early, because game number 2 at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, live from the Montreal Forum as Canada meets the United States. Labrotten to Sjöberg. Sjöberg takes his shot. Skvortsov blocked that one as he went to his knees. Out to center ice for Belosov, and he's over the line. Drops it back for Kovin. Kovin against the far boards. Kovin, number 12, into the corner. Belosov turning. Good mobile work by Belosov as he got a backhand shot away. And Sjöberg out to center ice. Labrotten. Labrotten is offside. And Babinov really took a run at Labrotten deep inside the Soviet end, and highly uncalled for as the whistle had gone to nullify that play. Babinov put a cross-check to number 21, Labrotten. Get a chance to see it here, Tom.
Well, Sjöberg made the mistake of not getting the puck by the man checking the point. It gave the Soviets a very good opportunity. They don't throw the puck away. They take their time in the zone, work around. Belosov with a spinorama here to get away, gets his backhand on the Swedish net, and then of course Sweden comes up. It's thrown inside, but they rule to Labrotten, took the puck over the red line and came across the red line before the puck. They go in with their elbows high, and I think that's an indication of the frustration of the players at that point, because Labrotten was just inches offside, would have had a very good opportunity. There's the cross check across the head to him, and the little mix-up in the corner, and all the players are jamming in to make sure no further altercation develops.
Well, the Soviets have lost defenseman Vladimir Lutchenko with a badly sprained ankle. He's number 3 of the Soviet team, and that is a tough loss, and that is one of the reasons why we're seeing a lot of Gusev here in the third period. His beating is over the line. There's his shot. That hit the glass behind Tretьяк. Now Salming moving in. Kulikov in the corner. Kulikov. Gusev back to Kulikov. He loosens it. Hammarström pokes it back into the corner. Hammarström turning. Hammerstrom taking a shot. Down goes Tretьяк as he picked that one out of the air.
Well, Alexandrov, although he has great individual talent, made an unforgivable mistake by being the last man for the Soviet team handling the puck. And he came out, handled the puck, and lost it. And the Swedish team then got the opportunity around the Soviet net. But when you're the last man back, you don't handle that puck. Because if it gets back away from you, well, there's nobody between you and the net.
A little action there between Alexandrov on the far side of the face-off circle and Hammerstrom. It's from the face-off now. Hammerstrom trying to get it into the corner. He does. Viting pins it in there. Hammerstrom moves in along with Gusef, and we'll have another face-off. It's a little temperamental there between Alexandrov and Hammerstrom. Watch them as we have the face-off.
Well, Alexandrov is one of the Soviet players who is always in on the little altercations. He doesn't stand for too much.
On the face-off, here's a shot by Salming that hit the back of a player, and it's cleared out to center ice. Having to stop and turn around is Alexandrov, and he clears it into the Swedish end. Ostrom out of his net. Behind the net, Johansson is checked, smooked off out to the blue line. Here's Kulikov's shot, right on, and it just went off the pad of goaltender Ostrom back out to the point. Kulikov tried to duck by the check, failed to do that, and Lundstrom is out along with Hammerstrom. Here's Lundstrom's shot, the rebound, second shot, and down goes Tretьяк, and he hangs on. Now we've got some more shoving going on. A little extra shot thrown by Kulikov in there. And the linesmen are very quick to get in.
Well, Kulikov really had no business coming in there. The play was dead. Lundstrom got the second opportunity, the rebound. Tretьяk made the great stop, but there was no need for that mix-up because the play had really been stopped at that point. And here's Kulikov in the shot. It just goes a little wide. It's off the Soviet player wide. Here, Kulikov makes the mistake. That might be part of his frustration. Lundstrom gets the opportunity, moves down the 2-on-1. The defender stays in the middle. Gusev gets the second opportunity, but can't get it by under Tretьяk.
This is, yeah, lots of pushing. There it is. Kulikov in the middle of it. This is Canada Cup 76 on CTV.
To the Soviet Union, number 15. Alexander Kulikov.
Well, we had double minors. We'll get a chance to see it. Both players have gone off the ice here.
Well, Gusev made a good play staying at the middle. There's Lundstrom's first shot. The rebound comes back to him, and Tretьяk covers up.
There's live action now as the puck goes to the far boards. Kapustin, the team's playing a man short. Behind the net, Bilялетдинov beating it ahead. Maltsev at center ice. Maltsev along with Kapustin over the line. Maltsev hitting for the slot, getting set, and he is pulled down. There'll be a penalty. Hedberg will likely go off, tripping the call, and getting a little flack on the far boards is Andre Лагассе, the CAHA referee from Canada.
Well, this is the second time Maltsev has made the same type of play. He fakes the shot, cuts right across onto his forehand, and there's no question that he's stumped, but it was a smart play by Maltsev. He let the play develop. He was trying to move around to get the shot, and he drew the penalty. And the Soviet power play hasn't been too good so far, but they're going to have to capitalize here if they hope to get back in this hockey game.
Well, we've played 7:01 in the third period, 2:59 remaining in the first half of the third period. Tommy Bergman for hooking, and Sweden will play a man short. 4 skaters to 3 with the Soviet the man advantage.
It might be interesting to note here. This is a very important power play for the Soviets. They've got out 4 of their veteran players.
With Maltsev taking the draw against Nilsson. On the face-off, they'll do that again. Very important that this face-off be taken fairly deep inside the Swedish end. Again they drop it, and again Maltsev wins it. Back to the blue line. Gusev to Vasiliev. Vasiliev into Maltsev. Back to Vasiliev. Vasiliev to Maltsev. There's the quick shot, and standing on it at the goal crease was Kapustin. Ulf Nilsson behind the net. Sjöberg starting out, the team captain for Sweden. He'll try to control it as long as he can. Getting skating room is Sjöberg. Off the boards, Ulf Nilsson spun around. Puck is loose. Trying to control it. Nilsson hacked away at it. Now Vasiliev controls it and gives to Kapustin, to Gusev, and back to Kapustin. They'll reorganize deep in their own end. Vasiliev. At center ice, Vasiliev to Maltsev. Maltsev's over the line. can carry that puck very well. We've seen a lot of it so far in this series. There's the shot, the rebound, and Nielsen picks it up. Nielsen to Börje Salming. Salming over the line. Going deep into the Soviet end. Stops. Salming controlling it nicely. He'll try and pin it in there now and get the face-off down on the Soviet end, and he does. Good hand from the crowd. And less than a minute, 59 seconds remaining in the power play for the Soviet Union.
Well, there he is, BJ. A very good play. Controlled the puck, killed time, killed time, killed time. Got the face-off in the Soviet zone, and we're able to get a change for the Swedish team. Here he is going wide, and Vasiliev into the corner. Whoops, back to the boards. Little spinorama, still controlling the puck. Maltsev comes to him to force the draw.
Well, the penalty killers, Hedberg, Johansson, and Börje Salming. Salming has seen a lot of action this afternoon. Balderas is out there for the Soviet now, along with Sluktov. And we're awaiting the remainder of the changes. Bабinov now coming over the boards, and Krikunov. And coming off is Vasiliev. Crowd getting impatient. Changes are slow in coming. Face off deep in the Soviet end. They have the man advantage. 59 seconds remaining in the power play, barring another penalty. 37 seconds left in the double minors. On the face-off, Bабinov, number 4 for the Soviet Union. For Balderas on the right side. Balderas over the line. As he controls that puck, he gets in over the line. Johansson checking him, clears it into the corner on the far side. Salming clearing it to the blue line, but not out. Sluktov, Bабinov, Balderas, back to Bабinov. Over to the far side. It was a bad pass. Krikunov circling. Krikunov trying to get set, moving in, gives to Bабinov. They look for that free man. Krikunov moving in. Krikunov still with it. Krikunov, look at that work in front of the net now as they have everybody tied up. Bабinov out. Here's the shot, and it's into the crowd off the stick. 20 seconds left in the power play.
Well, we saw a good example. The Soviets controlled the puck. They didn't get the good opportunity, but that's their style. They worked the puck, trying to get the one very good opportunity. They never really got it because the Swedish team were playing a very disciplined zone. They weren't chasing behind the net. But here we have Salming trying to take out Zluktov. And Zluktov's an awful big fellow there to try and take out. Krikunov takes the puck behind the net. Salming holds his ground, stays loose. There's the triangle. You can see all three Swedish men in their triangular zone holding off the Soviets. A very good job. PJ looks like he's going to trip over his tongue before he gets to the bench.
1:19 remaining in the first half of the third period. 2-1. Sweden is leading. 20 seconds remaining in the penalty to Tommy Bergman. And I wonder how much of a lift this would give Sweden if they could kill this penalty off.
Well, at this point in the hockey game, a very big lift.
Sluktov, Balderas, Alexandrov, Bабinov, Kulиков working the points. Alouettes leading Toronto, also here in Montreal, by a score of 4-0. We're playing down at the Autostade this afternoon. This is a busy city. Of course, there'll be another hockey game on CTV from the Montreal Forum tonight, starting at 8 o'clock. And Canada takes on the United States at 8 o'clock Eastern Time.
Well, the crowd getting on Helmut Balderas. He's another one of the young Turks on the Soviet team. He put his stick in front of Salming's nose. He didn't like being taken out of the play, and the fans reacted negatively towards him, as they should.
Balderas comes from Latvia, from Riga. Actually coached by the coach now of the Soviet national team, Viktor Tikhonov. On the face-off, we'll be hearing a lot of that name in the years to come. Pinned against the boards by Salming and Alexandrov, and they'll do it again. There's our coach, Tikhonov. Try that one again. Also assisting Tikhonov is Boris Myrov, who was one of the great forwards Soviet hockey history. Played with Starshinov, another great name. Behind the net now. Less than a minute remaining in the first half of the period. Bergman is out of the penalty box. Bабinov back in his own end, stick handling with it. Leaves it for Kulиков, and he just overskated it. Alexandrov over the line, and Sluktov was offside. He just let that go. And it's Schuberg. Schuberg to Nielsen. Nielsen with Hedberg breaking. He gets the pass over the line now. Hedberg on the backhand, and his shot is wide. Schuberg Into the corner. Hedberg trying to get it out in front for Nielsen. It's loose out there. Eriksson couldn't control it. Now it's Hedberg. Hedberg getting sent over to Nielsen, and it was just intercepted. And Balderas coming up the right side. That great speed. Balderas hits the line. Over now is Kovin. The shot. They score!
Well, Balderas set that up with his great speed. He made a very nice pass to Schluchthoff. I actually think, and we'll see on the replay, whether the puck did hit BJ. But here's Balderas making the break. Makes a nice little pass to Schluchthoff. Schluchthoff takes his time, shoots, and the puck goes behind the Swedish goaltender, and then the frustration. Here he is again, drops the pass. Schluchthoff comes to the outside, shoots quickly. There are two Soviets in front of the net, and Schluchthoff did get a stick on. I was wondering whether it went off Salming, but Schluchthoff, I believe, will get credit for the goal, just tipping it by the goaltender.
That was Alexandrov in front of the net looking for a rebound, number 11. And that came just near the end of the first half of the period. First half, 14 seconds. Balderas got credit for the goal, as over the line it comes now. And it's offside. We'll have a face-off. The official announcement, Balderas from Schluchthoff and Bабинов at 9:46.
Number 4, Sergei Babinov.
7 seconds remaining now in the first half of the period. They'll change ends. As the puck is back in the Soviet zone, we have a 2-2 tie now. Belosov coming out of his own end as the siren goes to end the first half of the third period. The Soviet Union 2, Sweden 2. This is Canada Cup 76 on CTV. Interesting observation just made here in the broadcast area. Just prior to that goal, Börje Salming had been on the ice for a total of 4 straight minutes, and that's a little much, I think, for Salming, who's had a great deal of ice time in this game. As play is underway, Vasilev behind the net. Bilyaletdinov coming out. The pass behind Belosov. Belosov turning, and he is stopped on the play. That's Labrotten. Labrotten leaving it. Over the line comes Brazar. Here's the shot by Alberg. That's wide. Back behind the net is Brazar. And the Soviets take over. Belosov coming up the right side. Belosov to center ice. Off the boards. Kovin trying to get over the line. Skvortsov goes down. Belosov goes in against the boards. And the puck is cleared out to the blue line. Bilyaletdinov shooting it to the side of the net. They clear right through the crease. Nobody there that can pick up that pass. Behind the net. Big Salming pinned against the board. Belosov getting it out in front. And a lot of battling going on in that crease. The whistle finally goes as they pin it against the boards behind. And Ostrom a little shaken up, I think.
While Kovin was jostling in the crease, Schoberg had a pretty good hold on him here. Here's Schoberg forcing him in, and he and the goaltender have a little high-sticking duel, but it looked like the goaltender got hit underneath the mask, and play was called later on. But there was an awful lot of shoving and pushing in there, and rightly so. Schoberg didn't want to give Kovin an opportunity to tip anything in.
And you can see the general worldwide reaction from a goaltender to people trespassing in the crease. Not too pleased at all was Ostrom. Gushev trying to clear it out. Juha Viting intercepted that, and he shot it in. Deep inside the zone now. That's Kulikoff. Kulikoff to Kapustin. Kapustin ducking by a check. Up the right side is Kapustin. Ahead for Repnev. Repnev leaving it for Maltsev. He's over the line with skating room. Maltsev getting in. He shoots. Rebound in front. Score! Repnev, I believe. Perhaps Kapustin.
Well, again, Maltsev, the veteran of the Soviet Hockey Club, just made a great play, breaking in quickly on the right side. Here we see him take the puck wide. Whoops, a little howdy-do around. The first shot is there. The puck comes loose to Kapustin again, and he tips it over Astor. But that's the second goal. Here's Maltsev again. We get a second look at it. Whoops, howdy-do right underneath. Puts it back in front of the net, and Kapustin puts it by the Swedish goaltender. That's the second goal that Kapustin's had from that type of play. Maltsev making the big play, and Kapustin capitalizing on rebounds.
Now the Swedes have to come back with 8:26 remaining in the game. Puck is cleared out to center ice. Eriksson knocking it down there. Valtin over to the far side, relaying it in as Brazar, and digging in after it now is Krikунов. Krikунov behind his own net. The Soviet Union leading 3-2. Valderas to Schluchtov. Schluchtov over the line. Stopped there by Tommy Bergman. Schuberg at center ice. Hedberg over the line. His shot is gloved by Tretjak. Ahead now is Alexandrov. Alexandrov hitting the line. Going against Valtin. He gets it alone. And he is tied up from behind by Bergman. Now behind the net it's Nilsson. Nilsson trying to move it up the boards. And the check is thrown in there. And we'll have another face-off.
Well, up until the point where the Soviet team took the lead, we'd have to say that all the pressure was on the Soviet team because they need to win in the hockey game. The Swedish team getting tied. Here we have the takeout. Well, Tommy Bergman comes right across. There was nobody in front. He's able to blindside Alexandrov and take him right to the boards. And Alexandrov was looking around, hoping to draw a penalty.
Well, the goal, officially, there's a long shot off the glove of Ostrom behind the net. Moving along the boards, Alberg moves in. Back to Börje Salming. Salming backhanding it into the corner. Labrotten back to Salming. Salming stick handling with that puck. Belosov back there too. And Skvortsov for the Soviet Union. Schuberg just backhanding it into the corner. After it is Salming. Number 5, Börje Salming out to center ice. Knocked down by Vasiliev out there. Now Brazar gets it in over the line, but it's cleared right back out again. Belosov over the line to Kovin. Kovin for the Soviet Union trying to get it across for Skvortsov. Bilялетдинов behind the net. Kovin going after it in the corner along with Schuberg. He spun around but couldn't control it. Down they go, and they'll hold it for a face-off. The official scoring on that goal that has put the Soviet in front for the first time. Kapustin from Maltsev and Repnev at 11:24 of the third period. 2 goals, very short distance apart.
Well, there's a familiar face today. Got Salming back out there, and he's the big offensive threat. He makes the Swedish team go. He lugs the puck out of his own zone, and they need him out there now to bring that puck up the ice.
Now the Swedes clear it out to center ice. Gusef overskates it. Lundstrom going after it. He goes down as he's dumped by Kulikov. Crowd howling for a penalty there. Salming hustling his way past the check of Kulikov, and he gets it into the Soviet end. Hammerstrom and Beating going after it as Gusef picks it up in the corner. Hammerstrom moving into forecheck. Repnev gets the pass along the boards. He goes down. Going to get caught in a bad spot on the ice is Kapustin. To Maltsev, out to center ice, intercepted by Lundstrom. Lundstrom stick handling along the Soviet line. Drops it back for Johansson. Johansson over the line. Beating. There's it in front of the net. It's loose there. Lundstrom couldn't get it. Now here's the shot by Johansson. Saved by Tretjak. Into the corner, Gusef and Beating. They kick it along the boards. Trying to pin it in there now for the Soviet Union is Kulikov. He finally gets the whistle. Gusef drops his glove. We've had a lot of that in this game.
Well, feelings are very high, but just before that little altercation in the corner, the Swedish team came just within an ace of tying that up. Johansson blasted a screamer from the point, and Ua Wheating got a stick on it and just failed to deflect it by Tretjak. But here's Johansson's shot. Wheating, as you see, all by himself off the corner of the net. He did get a stick on it, but not enough to get it by Tretjak.
Face-off will be deep inside the Soviet end. Börje Salming getting a much-needed rest. Oh, he has played an awful lot of hockey here. From the face-off, out to the blue line it comes. Valtin moves after it. He is ridden out of the play. Hedberg keeping it in. And then Alexandrov covers up. Over to the far side. Down over the line now for the Soviet Union is Balderas into the corner, showing that speed. Balderas back out to the point. Moving in now is Bабинov. His shot blocked by Valtin. Tommy Bergman coming out for the Sweden to Ulf Nilsson. Soviets covering up. Krikунov trying to get loose. 5:28 remaining in the period and the game. Salming. Börje Salming already back on the ice. Hedberg over the line, chasing that puck into the corner. Takes a shot on the short side and it seemed to catch Tretjak a bit by surprise. Cleared into the corner. Now out to center ice, off the skate of Alexandrov, and cleared right back into the Soviet end again as the Swedes try to put the pressure on. Cleared back into the Swedish zone, and it's called. And we'll have a face-off back in the Soviet zone. This is Canada Cup 76 on CTV. From the face-off, Salming. Salming getting it over the far point. There it's cleared in by Johansson. And against the boards, that was Bilялетдинов clearing it around the boards. Scooping it up and bringing it to center ice is Belosov, number 23. Over the line, Belosov trying to split the defense. Börje Salming spun Belosov around. The puck is inside the line. Hammerstrom trying to pick it up out at center ice. Lundstrom also there, number 11. Here's Salming moving in over the line now. Salming into the corner. He drops it back intended for Hammerstrom. Hammerstrom against the boards. After it is beating behind the net, number 18, and it's held in there by Vasilia. Another face-off with 4:26 remaining. Well, those of you who are sitting at home right now, I suppose you're trying to tally up who your most valuable player is in the game.
Whoops, howdy do. Börje gives him just a little tug to pull him off balance just before they went in the corner, get possession of the puck and move it out.
And, of course, the most valuable player will be getting fine Eskimo carving, Carling O'Keefe Awards, each team following each game in this series. It's from the face-off, Kapustin. Kapustin over the line, along with Maltsev, stops. Kapustin makes a good move, and then just couldn't get the pass over to Repnev. And the whistle goes. There'll be a face-off to the right of the Swedish goal. I didn't catch what the infraction was there.
It was hit with a high stick. Hit with a high stick, and the official brings the face-off just to the right of the Swedish net.
We've mentioned how technically good this game has been. We've had one Soviet icing call, 4 against the Swedes all game. The offsides have been the same story. Face-off now, the puck is in front of the net. Ostrom steps out and clears it away. Kulikoff trying to get it in front of the net. Here's Maltsev's shot, and a skate save there by Ostrom. Puck is cleared out to center ice. Kulikov in the center ice area as the Soviets put a little pressure on the Swedish goal. Behind his own net. For Sweden, that's Schuberg. Schuberg starting out. Stopping. Out passing. Bergman with that good shot, and he got it right on the Soviet goal. Into the corner goes Ulf Nilsson. To Hedberg. Hedberg to Nilsson. Nilsson out in front. Eriksson with a shot. The puck is down underneath Gusев, and the whistle is gone before it popped 3. And the Swedes threaten again. 3-2 the score. We have 3.5 minutes remaining in the hockey game. The Soviet Union is leading.
Well, Eriksson was left all by himself in the slot. The puck came through to him. He shot quickly, but Gusев, as you see there, going off the ice, made a very good play. Here it comes out. Gusев drops in front of it. It gets behind him. They managed to put the puck underneath him, and the play is killed. Here we see it again. He shoots. Eriksson shoots all in one motion, but Gusев blocks the shot. Had that shot got through, it might have been a very good opportunity for the Swedish team.
And we notice that Börje Salming is back on the ice again, getting very short rest as the game winds down into its final seconds. In the center ice area, Björn Johansson controlling the puck, trying to shoot it in. Hammerstrom was offside. Balderas corralled the puck and got it back out to center ice, and there's Salming. Salming, Johansson, over for Lundstrom. Lundstrom over the line, trying to control it. He rolled it all the way to the net, and Tretьяк covered up. And we'll have another face-off, and again, Bабinov in there along with Lundstrom. Face-off will be to the left of the Soviet goal.
Tretьяk made a very good play there, simply killing the puck and forcing the face-off by grabbing it. It was a very good move by the Swedish team. Here they go through. Lundstrom batting it out of midair. Goes through. You see there is no Soviet defender close. Tretьяk drops in the puck, forces the draw, slows the play down, lets the Soviet team get organized in their own zone.
Well, a general change for the two teams, except one. Börje Salming remains out there. He's now working with Tommy Bergman. It's from the face-off. They'll do it again. Ulf Nilsson scooping it up and flipping it to Matt Pavlich, the linesman. Hedberg facing off against Bilялетдинов. They have a defenseman taking the draw for the Soviet Union. Face-off against the boards. Hedberg back to Börje Salming. There's his shot, and they hit Kovin in the rear end. And goes aside. Ulf Nilsson. Back to Salming. Salming moving to the slot. There's a shot. Great save by Tretьяк. Tretьяk picking that one out of the air, and you just do not let goaltender, or at least the benchman, Salming roam, and he got into the slot and let a good shot go. 2:52 remaining.
Salming's got to stay out of that altercation. They need him on the ice to get the goal back. But here's Ulf Nilsson from the draw. Ulf Nilsson. Well, first Salming shot. Ulf Nilsson gets the puck right here. Takes his time. Nice, smart little pass to Salming. He has time to shoot the puck. Good glove save by Tretьяk. But Nilsson again, smart with the puck, taking his time, setting up those plays. He's always dangerous out there. And of course, Salming is on the ice, and he's got a very important job to do at this point. They'll probably, in fact, I don't know if he'll go off.
I don't think so. With 2:50 remaining. If it is, it'll be one of those 5-second breaks he's been getting, and that's about all. Puck is cleared down the ice. The Soviets draw boos from the crowd here at the Forum for icing the puck.
Well, of course, the pressure is a loss and a tie in their first two games. Virtually, it would leave them only a slight chance of making the playoffs, and so a tie in a game like this is not a very good result for hockey.
On the face-off, Börje Salming again, all alone in front. They shoot the... Look at the reaction. Anders Hedberg has tied this game up with 2:32 remaining, and the Swedish bench is cleared. And Börje Salming was the man.
And the Soviet defense were very loose with the puck. They weren't able to get it out. They shoved the puck through back into Hedberg. And Hedberg was all by himself in front of the net. There was no Soviet defender near him. And he has all kinds of time to take the opportunity. Here we have the puck gets thrown loose. It gets tipped through. Here's Hedberg all by himself. Just takes his time, puts the puck by Tretьяk. But with only 2 minutes and 32 seconds left to go in the game, you can't give Hedberg an opportunity like that.
Well, he's a 50-goal scorer in the World Hockey Association, and he knows what to do when he gets the puck in front of the net, as you just saw there. Börje Salming, the assist. It came at 17:28. We have 2:32 left. Now what do you do? Soviet Union has to play for a win, I would think.
Oh, I think there's no question about that. Boy, that Swedish bench is really high now. I've never seen such excitement from the Swedish team in this game before. They were all off the bench and mobbing Hedberg on that goal, but it was a very important goal for the Swedish team.
Face off at center ice, and the Swedes control it. Börje Salming again. Over to the far side. Lundstrom shooting it in. 2:25 left. Listen to the crowd as the puck goes back into the corner. Soviet Union trying to clear it out. Salming keeps it in around the boards. Bабinov clearing it straight up ice. Alexandrov looking for that quick break. Now it's over the line. Alexandrov trying to make a move on Schuberg. Now into the corner. They try to put it in front. And back to get it is Hammerstrom. Hammerstrom for the Swedes. Out over the blue line. Pass over to the far side with less than 2 minutes left in the game as it's cleared in offside. 1:55 left.
Bабinov made a very quick, nice pass right from deep in his own zone, as the Soviet team likes to do, all the way across to Alexandrov, who was cutting into the middle from the wing. He took it just in front of the center ice red line, was onside, had a 3-on-2 break, but he lost possession of the puck inside the Swedish zone. But a very smart pass, alert pass by Babinov to set things up.
Well, there's Börje Salming over at the other bench, the Soviet Union. Of course, a little anxious right at this moment. This is their second game. They already have a loss and tie. Could be disastrous for their hopes in this Canada Cup tournament. It's from the face-off. Vasilev. Out to center ice. A rink-wide pass. Picked up on the far side by Skvortsov. He drops it back. Bilялетдинов clearing it down. Right on the Swedish goal. Ostrom will cover up very conservatively. And with 1:39 left, we'll have a key face-off deep in the Swedish end.
Well, what do you do here if you're the Soviet coach? Do you gamble and think that maybe a loss and a tie, and if we win our last 3 games, it's going to give us an opportunity to get in? They still have to play Canada. Or do you take your goaltender out and play for the win? That's a big decision they're going to make here.
Oh, and a little hacking in the face-off circle there. Nilsson took a shot on Kovin.
Hudson's Bay rules.
And they'll do the face-off all over again. On the face-off, moving into the face-off circle and getting it out to center right. That's Hedberg. Hedberg breaking down around the defense. Hedberg breaking it all alone and breaking back to clear the puck into the corner is Vasilev. And there is going to be a penalty. And the final minute, 28 seconds of this game, barring another penalty, the Soviets will play shorthanded.
Well, they may even lose the hockey game here, but right from the draw, the Soviet defense doesn't move up. Hedberg just shows the speed. He went around Bilялетдинов very, very quickly. And actually, I'm wondering if the official got the wrong man. I thought he was going to call Bilялетдинов for hacking at Hedberg as he went around him. But instead, he's given Vasilev the nod. And I don't think Vasilev lumber on him all the way down the side.
All right. They said that was a key face-off at the other end. The Swedes gained control, came down to this end, to the Soviet end. And we got a big penalty. Now the face-off is in the Soviet end, and Sweden has the manpower advantage. They'll go for the win if they can get it.
Well, certainly, I don't think there's any question about that. They've got the man advantage here. They're not playing for a tie. If they get the win here, that leaves them with 2 wins and no losses, and that puts them in a very good position in the tournament. And on the other hand, it would certainly put the Soviets in a very bad position. So the Soviets now, for the last minute and 28 seconds, are trying to hang on for a tie just to have a slim chance of making the playoffs at the end of the tournament.
All right, the Swedes have the manpower advantage. In the corner, Nilsson. Nilsson leaving it there for Lundstrom. Back to Nilsson. He's all alone in front. And he got a shot away. Saved by Tretьяк, and the puck winds up in the center ice area. Sjoberg. Börje Salming still out there. Sjoberg shooting it in. Offside, and the faceoff will be just outside the Soviet line. 1:10 left in the hockey game. A 3-3 tie. Quite a bit of excitement in this hockey game. Just the first of 2 on CTV. Tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, Canada versus the United States. On the face-off, Krikonoff back in his own end, clearing it to center ice past Salming, and Sjoberg will go back and start the rush from there. Exactly 1 minute left. Here's Sjoberg to center ice, trying to feed it ahead. He gets it over the line. Hedberg dropping it back to Nilsson, back to Hedberg to Nilsson. Back into the slot with Salming. To Sjoberg. Into Hedberg, and he goes down. It's loose in front, and Tretьяк nearly lost possession of that one as it took a bad bounce. Salming over to the far side. Hedberg is in, going after it. Number 16 for the Soviet Union is Krikonoff. He's jammed out of the play. The loose puck is picked up by Ripnev and sent down the ice. 28 seconds left. Salming gets the pass from the goaltender Ostrom. Over to Sjoberg. Ahead. That's Brezar over the line. Into the corner after it. Lundstrom chasing in. Brezar gets it out to Sjoberg. Here's the shot. No, he fakes it. Brezar moving in. The shot right on. It kicks away. Now into the corner they go. Hedberg in there after it. They try to get it out to the point. It's cleared down the ice with 2 seconds left. 1 second. And the siren goes and the hockey game is over. We've had a barn burner here as it's turned out. As the Soviet Union and Sweden play to a 3-3 tie, Tom.
A great hockey game. It was a terrific hockey game. All of the fans here are on their feet. They're giving both clubs a tremendous hand. The game was very fast from beginning to end. It showed the great condition both of these clubs are in. A very, very good hockey game with a lot of chances at both ends, a lot of great opportunities, and a lot of great individual performances.